Welcome back to Was It Real? The Hills Rewatch podcast. I'm Brody Jenner here with my co-host Audrina Patridge, and Frankie Delgado is here as well. Frankie, how you doing? Today we're going to be breaking down season 2, episode 6. You Have Chosen. All right, let's get into it.
Okay. Well, the drama is more drama. The drama is really building now with Spencer and Heidi's relationship with her friends.
I feel like this is where her friendships really start to change, and you see that in the episodes. And Heidi is like struggling, wanting, her friends to accept Spencer and Spencer to accept her friends, and she wants everyone to be together, but everybody's so protective over her that it makes it hard.
Yeah, I think it's really cool to see that like everybody's trying to make it work, but with their own intentions.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, that's not how life works.
Yeah.
Like life's not about, like, there's no choosing. There's no, like, I'm going to take this side or that side. There's no, like, listen, if there's something that really, like, can affect, like, where you're like, you could do this to me, I need to walk away from you too because of what you did.
But they're also, there shouldn't be judging.
Young stuff about judging boyfriends and girlfriends and how it's each life. It's your life. It's your life. Do whatever you gotta do. And if you're happy, I'm happy for you. I don't have to be verbally saying like, hey, I want to stay away from you and from you.
But
like,
as we all know, when you're on a reality show, you have to talk about every feeling.
Right.
You have to talk about every scene, every feeling. And we're a normal life. You wouldn't always say that.
But as a fan of the show, I'm watching, at home, and I'm like, well, I would have not even said that. I was just like, oh, I don't feel well. I have a headache, or I have plans with my other friend today. Like, I can't make it. Like, I would just not like be so blunt about how things are. But because you are on a reality show, we have to understand that they have to mention everything and why and how and who bothers you and why you don't like them. So it is pushed to make drama.
Yeah, and that's in this episode, the very first scene. It starts off with Lauren telling Heidi exactly what she thinks about Spencer and how he's basically going to screw her over and she'll be there for her when it happens.
I don't want to talk about him anymore. I don't want to hear about him. And I'm never going to hang out with him, so.
If it's going to come between us and if you're going to like be mad at me and not be able to be around me, then it's like.
But you know what? I've put in my 2 cents, and you know how I feel, and I'm going to be there for you when he screws you over. Because he will.
And I think it kind of sets Heidi back because she kind of feels like, you think that's going to happen? Like, she's giving him another chance, but Lauren's not on board with it. So the tension starts there.
It's pretty ironic now to see Heidi and Spencer still together. Still, like, from our, it's wild to see. As strong as could be, even
there was never no fucking over each other. You know what I mean? Like they kept it real. They really did love each other. They really did mean it when they said it to each other. And they're still around with 2 beautiful kids. So.
And I think that's like with any friendship or relationship, if you want to make things work, like there's going to be ups and downs and hard conversations. And I mean, Heidi, she went through it. We all saw it, but they stuck it out. And I feel like Lauren and her could have stuck it out too. But
have you ever been with a friend though that you don't necessarily, you don't love their their significant other. You don't have to like them, but you just sort of tolerate them and sort of hang out with them and do things with them and keep it very just surface.
Yeah.
I feel like
100%.
I've done that so many times with like friends, really close friends of mine, girlfriends or boyfriends or whatever. And you just sort of tolerate them. And even if you don't like them, for them, you tolerate them and you're as nice as you could possibly be. I feel like Lauren, didn't really try to do that. I feel like, and then when she did try, that one little conversation they had, it didn't seem to go very well between the 2 of them. Clearly she had her feelings about Spencer and she's entitled to that. But sometimes for your best friend, you just have to suck it up and just sort of hang around them, and you don't have to be best friends with them, but you kind of just
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you don't want to be around them, then there's a way for you to just stay away from them without like making it so
dramatic,
like dramatic about it.
Or like having to choose a side. You should never have to choose.
Right.
And that's even with my past relationships. I never made our friends choose me or him. It's like you make your choice.
Which one are we talking about? Who are we talking about?
Ex-husband.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like it is what it is. I'm not going to make you choose, but I will be very careful what,
of course,
what
you say
things
and how much of yourself you give the person.
I want to give to that person.
So I'm saying you can just like be like skate around it and just not have to like make people feel uncomfortable about like who they're gonna want to hang out with. And I think that's the number one thing that a lot of my relationships with everybody I have, all my friends, I never and I don't want to ever have to be like it's either him or me. Like if you want to be friends with someone that I don't really like, it's all good.
Yep.
I just number one, yes, I will be careful with what I say.
You do take a step back and distance yourself a little bit, but you don't have to cut them out of your life or make 100%. Them feel like they're making the wrong decision. It's their lesson to learn.
The fact that Heidi can't talk to her about anything involving Spencer because Lauren doesn't like him so much is sort of that
severs their friendship.
Right, or it limits the thing, which is tough. If you're in a relationship with somebody, you want to be able to at least talk a little bit about them with the person or hang out, or at least hang out with them. And
so this episode was aired in February 19th in 2007, by the way.
Oh my God, that's terrifying.
That's so long time ago. Gosh. The next scene in this episode, then Heidi, after she talks with Lauren, goes and meets with Spencer. And Spencer gives her roses at lunch. And then obviously with your boyfriend, you tell them what's going on. They become your best friend. So she confides in Spencer about, what Lauren has said and how she feels about them. And I think that later comes out and Lauren doesn't like that because it's kind of like girl code. Like, you shouldn't tell him everything I tell you.
It's true. Yeah. Because I mean, if let's just say like somebody tells me like I don't like Brody, I'm not gonna go and instigate and say, hey Brody, by the way,
so-and-so
even though that's my best friend,
blah,
I'm gonna defend him in his when he's not around and say, hey dude, honestly, don't talk about my boy like that. I don't need you to be saying that. That's my boy.
Yeah.
So if you don't feel that way, like keep it to yourself. But that's my boy. But I'm not gonna go tell Brody, by the way, this guy's talking all this, because that's just gonna create a fight that I don't know what. I think
that's one of the problems too in this episode. Well, and Heidi can probably pick up on this when she comes back in. But it's like, I think that caused ruckus or whatever between Lauren and Spencer, because it's like, well, she said this, well, he said this.
Right. No, I don't like her. No,
it's more of a conflict.
Yeah, where it's better just to not say that and let them figure it out, because things change over time.
For sure. Especially as the more they grow and you see that Spencer started to really take the relationship serious.
Yeah.
And I think that there was a point where that relationship definitely switched. I think Heidi and Spencer in the beginning were both kind of little players. You know what I mean?
She says it. She admits it. She always is like, yo, I'm a player. I was a player too. Right. Like, I don't know why Lauren was being so protective of me where I was doing my own thing too.
Right. And then you can see definitely when that takes
the shift happened.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure maybe Lauren, I think maybe the relationship was too tainted at that point between Lauren and Spencer. But I think that it could have shifted had Lauren seen how much Spencer cared about her and wasn't just trying to be a player and trying to, be more serious.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Heidi comes back home to Lauren and like gives Lauren the roses, like thinking that Spencer gave those roses to give to Lauren. And Lauren's like, oh, is he going to give more to Audrina too or whatever? So Heidi was trying to be funny about that, but Lauren didn't know. She really thought those were from Spencer.
Lauren didn't like that too much,
she
did she?
Did not like
she
that.
She did not like that.
She ran and hid in the room.
That just gave him another telly. Like, what next?
I know, but like I said, it's like you're rubbing it in as well, though. Like, at that point, don't poke the bear.
Yeah.
Right. That was kind of poking the bear, I will say. That was, Heidi, where are you going to be, Heidi?
But then if they knew off camera about the roses, like, it would be funny, like, outside of the camera. But I don't know if they did at that point.
Right. The rose thing was just Atticus.
The rose is Spencer. We got to get him on this show.
Do you still have that rose, Audrina? The one that
you still have the rose that they gave you? You probably still have it all. Like,
it's probably still.
I don't know.
You kept it forever.
Well, then Heidi goes to pack for overnight. She's going back to Spencer's. And I think this is when Lauren is like, well, you're always gone. You're always with Spencer. It's like Lauren gets mad because she misses Heidi and misses that friendship. So I think it's just change she's not liking.
She's not liking the change between them too.
They're dynamic.
He's like, yo, she says this at some point in the episode. She says like, Every day used to be
Heidi and Lauren Day.
Lauren Day. You know what I mean? And now it's not. Now it's just like we have to like schedule a meeting to like for us to have but that's life.
Yeah.
That's how the world works. Like once you meet someone, like I like when I met Jen, it was like there was no more like, hey, let's go get it. Like, nah, I'm hanging with my girl.
Yeah.
Can my girl come?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I
It was
know.
like, and it makes it easier when your girl is really lovable. Like,
And it makes it easier if like you're dating someone or they're dating someone else to do the double date thing. But if you're a
100%.
third wheel all the time,
that's
it's
so
like
true.
not
That's so true.
fun.
but even if you're the third
Yeah.
wheel, sometimes I think that it's the person. Like, if you can talk about anything with the. Like,
Yeah.
all my boys say whatever they want around her, and she just laughs. You can also be the third wheel and be okay being the third wheel and
Yeah.
being like, I don't think there's any awkwardness like when we go to like dinners with like
I know
me and
before
my.
Jen, you were
Mhm.
always the third wheel, Frankie.
with
I
you.
Before Jen, I was the third wheel.
Oh my God.
I was Dupree.
Figuring out those
Me, you, and Dupree.
confessional questions.
Remember that movie?
I do.
Such a
Oh my
good movie.
gosh. After Heidi leaves and Lauren just kind of comes over, I invite her over for lasagna. And I was kind of shocked that Heidi was giving him another chance because I didn't know what was really going on the backside of things, that this was for the show and like to amp up whatever. I thought that he was really like playing her. So in my defense, I was kind of like, what? Why is she getting back with him?
Right.
You know? And then when Lauren would tell me these things, I was like, I just can't believe it.
How was that lasagna, by the way? It looked really good. You guys
It
were
was
fresh dicing it. Did you guys really make lasagna?
I did. Me and my mom really
That
did.
was great.
That's amazing.
You guys are dicing up
Yum,
fresh lasagna.
lasagna.
To me, it was
You'll
like
see
real
later,
fresh.
it's like she comes over to cook in my kitchen with me all the time. That was our
Amazing.
like talking moment
that.
of
Well,
cooking.
invite
and-
us, huh?
I know we didn't get the invite to those
Oh,
scenes.
lasagna,
Damn.
Those were the fun ones.
What to say?
Gosh, yeah.
Frankie
so-
could have Frankie and I could have been on the couch.
Yeah, just waiting
waiting
for the lasagna. Is it
Our
a
own
meat?
little separate
Is it a
scene.
meat sauce lasagna?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
the weight of my heart.
Oh,
Oh,
my
I'll bring lasagna next time, guys, for
Please.
lunch.
Oh, damn.
But that's when you really see that Lauren is really starting to get annoyed with Spencer and like the dynamic of everything.
But did you feel like you were like the mediator between the whole situation? Did you feel like you had to be that person now?
At that point, I was so on the outside of it that I would film and hear about it and just be like, I'd believe what I was being told. I'm like, oh my gosh, what? And I wasn't really talking to Heidi at that point because she was always with Spencer. So, and I think with what happened with Spencer and I, it would be weird if we all hung out or I don't know.
I know.
Everything just changed.
The roses to
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So I've started.
You kept your distance.
Yeah, kept my distance and just kind of hung out with Lauren because, and I don't know in real life or on the show, but she was always kind of alone or like, you know.
While most children's vitamins are filled with 5 grams of sugar and can contribute to a variety of health issues, Haya is made with 0 sugar and 0 gummy junk. Yet it tastes great and is perfect for picky eaters. See, my kids are such picky eaters, you know, and they love their sugar. But I'm trying to take them away from all the sugar because diabetes does run in my family. For me, this is the perfect vitamin, the perfect thing, the perfect little treat for them because they think it's actually really good. I tasted it. And I love my sugar too, as Brody knows.
Do you eat them too, Frankie?
Frankie steals
Well,
his
they're like
kids'
treats.
vitamins.
They're treats for me. They're vitamins for them.
Well, Haya fills in the most common gaps in modern children's diets to provide the full body nourishment our kids need with a yummy taste they love. Formulated with the help of nutritional experts, Haya is pressed with a blend of 12 organic fruits and veggies, then supercharged with 15 essential vitamins and minerals, including vitamin D, B12, and many others to help support immunity, energy, brain function, mood, concentration, teeth, bones, and more. Now, same with Kira, Frankie. Like, she loves sugar, but I try to keep her away from sugar because she gets too hyper. But it's been really hard for us to find a vitamin that she actually likes. So these, she wants to eat like candy.
Yeah, so we've worked out a special deal with Haya for the best-selling children's vitamin. Receive 50% off your first order. And to claim this deal, you must go to hayahealth.com/hills.
This deal is not available on their regular website. Go to HIYAHEALTH.com/hills and get your kids the full body nourishment they need to grow into healthy adults.
Your dog knows everything about you. Should you know your dog better? My dog Shuey he knows everything about me. And I just always think, where did he come from? I know he's a puggle and I know he's a beagle mix, but I just want to see like his siblings. I want to know where his background. I would love to know more about him. And that's why we're so excited to talk about our partner, Embark Vet, the provider of the highest rated dog DNA tests on the market. And right up top, we'd like to thank EmbarkVet.com for supporting Was It Real? Go to EmbarkVet.com to get free shipping and save $40 with promo code HILLS.
Yes. So, Brody, I actually texted you about my new puppy because I think he's a Rottweiler Husky mix, maybe Shepherd, but I'm so excited to use Embark to actually find out what his breed is, especially, to see if he has any health issues that I need to anticipate or anything.
Health issues, I like that. That's good. Embark is an incredible tool for dog owners that screens for more than 230 genetic health risks across 350 breeds. That's more breeds tested than any other dog DNA test. You can unlock their breed mix, screen for genetic health risks, and discover the family tree. Audrina, doesn't Lady have some nearby relatives?
She has a bunch of relatives near us. I literally 3 streets from my house, which is crazy.
No way, really?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And you guys, now is the perfect time to shop for an Embark dog DNA test. Right now, Embark has a limited time offer on their breed and health kit and purebred kit for Was It Real listeners. Go to EmbarkVet.com to get free shipping and save $40 with promo code HILLS.
Visit EmbarkVet.com and use promo code HILLS to save $40 today.
Look who's here.
Heidi's back.
There we go. She made it.
All right. We need you, Heidi.
Done.
All right.
I wanted to clarify something. What did Lauren just always, was she really sitting on that couch all the time when you came in, or did they, you think production moved her into
wait, that's like me in my house. I always sit in the same spot.
I have my spot too. Because every time you come in, I'm like, she's
like eating,
the imprint,
looking at a magazine.
She gets up.
That counts. That must
Actually,
be comfy.
on and off camera, that was often where she wasn't she when you?
Always.
Yeah,
Actually,
that was her
yeah.
spot.
That's her spot. I was wondering that
And
because
I
every
noticed-
time
It is
I was
Mad
like,
Dog spot. Like, ooh,
as soon as she comes in.
Like when you come in and your mom's on the couch, you're like,
yeah,
hey,
she's
Mom.
like, oh, you're home. Yeah, exactly.
How are you
Waiting.
doing over there?
That was her
So
spot.
this is episode 6.
All right.
And this is when you're trying to like kind of figure it out with Spencer and Lauren in between being like, hey, so
can you guys both get along? I love him. And telling her, but it's like putting you in this position where it's really hard because now he doesn't want to hang out with her. She doesn't want to hang out with him. This is right before they have the little conversation at the club, I think.
Yeah, this was a really tricky situation. I felt like I was put in a really hard spot in real life and on camera. So Lauren was like, I'm not hanging out with Spencer. I'm not going to be around him. I don't like him. I don't want to talk about him. And I said to her, well, you're putting me in a really hard position because you're cutting out our friendship, basically. Like, you don't want to hear about my life, is what you're saying. So we can hang out as long as it's about you or just a surface level friendship, but that's not fair. So I was trying to make that happen. And then Spencer, if you know Spencer, and you're like, well, Lauren doesn't want to be around you. He's like, well, I don't want to be around her. That's, like.
And that's what we were talking about. I think that because it's the show, you kind of have to say what's going on to Spencer. But like we were talking about, like sometimes just kind of like protecting your significant other without having to say everything that's going on kind of saves the like dramatic feelings between them two.
Mm-hmm.
That could have kind of changed the path of the show by you not even saying nothing to Spencer. So that Spencer, or even saying like, hey, Lauren's fine now or whatever.
Yeah, she likes you.
She likes you, it's fine. So
like
he starts maybe liking her, and maybe like somehow like you could have fooled them both to like each other.
But 2 things. One, I'm really honest. Like I can't not just be real with it. It's like, well, this is really what's going on. And, it's up to other people to deal with their own emotions. Like that's not on me. And it became a big problem. So they weren't allowed to be in the same room. So I'm not allowed to be with both of them. It wasn't like, oh, I'll be around Spencer in this room if you're there. So it was a really obvious put her foot down statement. So I was put in a place where actually he had to know what was going on because he wasn't allowed certain places.
You're saying they weren't because Lauren basically told production, I don't
remember
want
that
him around me. Is that what we mean by that? Right.
I know that later on in life, he is in the same room and he is talking to her and he is cool and giving even a speech about her on her birthday. So like,
well, things change, and sometimes with certain scenes, like everybody has to show up. Like it's your job, you know, like you don't really.
But like she said, there was a time when it really was like, it was a no-go zone for either of them.
I remember at the Rolling Stones shoot, you guys weren't talking. And I was like, there's no way you guys got to, Lauren, cut it out. Like, this is the cover of Rolling Stones. Like, we're doing this. Like, just get over that for the day at least.
I know. You were so great there. If you weren't there, that would have been an even harder shoot.
I had it be in between you guys.
Talk to me.
It was gnarly.
Like, physically in between us. And she still wouldn't talk to me.
Were you on the left and she was on the right? Or how was it?
Heidi was on the right, Lauren was on the left, and then Whitney was next to Lauren. And we were dancing and like being happy and friendly and like.
Yeah, we were. So that was, but yeah, it was a hard position to be put in on and off camera.
But I think this episode really sets the tone for where the relationship is going with you and Lauren, and then also with Spencer and the whole dynamic of you guys and just the change, the falling out that slowly starts to happen.
Yeah.
So you guys do go to area.
So we do go to area, and Spencer was allowed to be there with production or whatever. I don't remember if this is before or after she really put her foot down though.
I think that was way later because I've seen other episodes that he's still around and she's around. And
well, I think this too, it's because we saw him flirting with another girl and then you didn't see it. And then Lauren was trying to have your back and be like, Heidi, let's go now. Right. And you didn't really know what was going on.
Right.
I wish Heidi was here to see it. She won't believe me in Lauren.
Thank you. Lauren, come here. Look at Spencer.
Lick my neck and I'll trust me.
I'm getting Heidi out of here. Heidi!
Until we all told you, and then that's when Spencer took Lauren aside and like tried to clear the air, but then it just kind of exploded.
We're so making peace, by the way. You can hate me, that's fine.
I don't hate you.
No, you do.
I just told my friend not to date you.
It's fine if you don't like me and you don't want me to date her. But let's not make it difficult for you to be best friends with.
Anything to make
you made a little comments like this. I don't want to be in a room with Spencer when you're
I didn't say that. I said I don't really want to sit back and watch Spencer use you. That's
instead of it becoming good, it just went.
Right. I think a lot of the time, Lauren actually had good intentions. Like, I think she was trying to be a good friend. You know, I think she did have my back a lot, which I really appreciated.
She really did.
And then it just became like,
it was all or nothing.
I'm done. Right. It was all or nothing. So it would have been great if we could have continued on that trajectory. Like, hey, he was flirting with someone else. Okay, great. Well, I need to go deal with that with Spencer or whatever, or I need to figure
it's
that
your
out.
Problem.
Right. Right.
So
instead of taking it totally.
And don't hate him for the things. If I don't hate him, you don't have to hate him.
Right. Or you know what I mean? You don't need to like him, but still be my friend.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about before you came in. Right. That's exactly.
So that became the tricky part because was that appreciated? No. Was I maybe flirting with someone for that? I don't know. Probably. You know, it's like I used to be a really big flirt.
Play.
Yeah, I was. And I was a really big flirt too. And Spencer was a really big flirt. And during this time, we still we were official, but we both kind of flirted with other people. And we actually had to have a really serious conversation about that in February, I think it was, even after we were official. And Spencer was like, you need to stop flirting with people.
Because he has a different mentality at that point.
Right. Well, when I met Spencer, the reason why we weren't official right away, and when it was you and Kristen were together, he was like, I don't want a girlfriend.
Right.
It was a very anti-girlfriend, want nothing to do with that. You know, so to even think of having a girlfriend went against everything he was going towards in his life goal at that time. And then having one publicly was another thing he really didn't want to do, going at that time in his life. So,
I think he felt that he was kind of like that too with kids. Like, remember with he didn't at first. He was kind of like he was scared to have kids. I don't know if it's not that he didn't want kids, but he was kind of nervous to have kids. He was kind of like, I don't know if I don't know if I'd be a good dad and this and that. And then sure enough, look at him. He's one of the best dads I've ever seen.
Yeah,
sounds familiar, Brody. I feel like we've had this conversation.
I mean, yeah, that does. Yeah, I think, yeah. We'll see. She's not out yet. We'll see.
And that was the conclusion of the episode, right? After area when they have the little.
Yep. And Jen was there, Jen Bunny, which
of course she's
going to be in the next episode with us.
Yes.
Well, let's get into some fan calls before we bring Jen in for the next episode.
This spring, you need nutritious, convenient meals to energize you for warmer, active days and keep you on track reaching your goals. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, can help you fuel up fast with ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and tackle everything on your to-do list.
Factor offers delicious, flavor-packed options on the menu each week to fit a variety of lifestyles, from keto to calorie smart, vegan plus veggie, and protein plus. Prepared by chefs and approved by dietitians, each meal has all of the ingredients you need to feel satisfied all day long while meeting your goals.
I love Factor. I have their keto brownie smoothies in the morning, and I have one of their keto calorie meals for either lunch or dinner. It's so easy. You just pop it in the microwave for 2 minutes, and you have a delicious, healthy meal ready. And the best part is there's no cleanup.
Head to factormeals.com/hills50 and use code HILLS50 to get 50% off your first box. I said 50.
That's code HILLS50 at factormeals.com/HILLS50 to get 50% off your first box.
And for all of our listeners, we just wanted to tell you that we've gotten so many messages about Whitney, and we absolutely love her, and we're so happy to report that Whitney's actually coming on our podcast for a special bonus episode.
Hey.
So if you guys want to send us voicemails, questions at speakpipe.com/thehills, or leave us a message on our Instagram page at The Hills Rewatch, and check out our YouTube page. So the first question.
Hi, my name is Dina. I'm calling from Honolulu, Hawaii. This message is for Audrina. Audrina, I'm wondering, what is the meaning behind your neck tattoo? You kind of see it throughout the season, but it looks like you mostly cover it up. My second question is, did the producers make you cover up the tattoo for television, or was that your idea just because you don't really get a full shot of it on the show? All right, guys, thank you so much.
So my neck tattoo I got when I was 17. And it's a heart with 4 chambers that turns into an apple with a snake around it. So it's the whole Adam and Eve story, like about life and destiny and temptation. But it looks like a strawberry with a worm. So I wear my hair down a lot, but I think in this time in my life, I wore a lot of ponytails because I got a lot of comments about the tattoo.
Let's see it.
Can I see it?
Oh,
Yes.
gosh, you guys. I'm going to put me on blast, Dina.
I want to see.
I wanted to have it removed, but I can't. It's too deep. And
Oh,
then,
really?
yeah.
Is that what they said?
They said they can
Yeah, you gotta
add
turn
to
around,
it,
Audrina.
but I was like,
Oh, no,
I
you
don't want to
wanna-
add
You're
to
gonna have to
it.
turn
You
around
gotta get it.
completely.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay, there you go, guys.
That's not that bad.
You're
not that
so
bad.
funny.
No, that's
It's not
So
that
it's-
bad.
so is it
And then
bad?
now I have 2 more. I have one on this side. It's the constellation of my daughter's month,
I love
June. And then on this side is a wave that represents life and just like everything
I love
that
that.
life is about.
Now you're balanced with the
I
3.
like it.
right?
So that apple, do you bite it or do you not bite it?
Yeah,
Well,
let's
Eve
bite
did bite it.
And I'm asking you.
That's
You're
why
the
we all have to
it's a
give birth.
temptation.
Yeah.
and have to suffer through it.
That's the temptation, right? So I'm asking you, do you fall for the apple or you don't?
Oh, I've fallen. Yes, I've
She's
bit the apple before. I've learned my lessons many times.
It's hard not to.
We've
No
all
one's
bitten the apple,
perfect.
Frankie. I think you've bitten the apple a couple times too, buddy. I think
Hey,
you've been
we-
through
we
a few
didn't make the
apples in
mistake.
your
It was
life.
Eve.
Yeah.
It wasn't Adam.
Frankie's like, it's
It was
not my
Eve.
tattoo. Oh, Adam's
FYI.
guilty.
It was Eve, but Adam
Oh,
did
come
what
on.
Eve did.
Huh?
He was very
He needs
easily
to take responsibility for his
persuaded.
own bites,
Yeah.
all right?
Yeah.
Adam. All right, next
Do
one.
we have
Oh my
another question?
goodness.
Hi guys, it's Lisa here. I'm ringing from Ireland and I'm really enjoying your podcast. I listen to it every week. I know you can't say too much, but you've often mentioned Lauren was the star of the show, and I just wondered how much final say did she actually get about what was edited, what was brought in, what was left there? Like, could she have talked to the producers and have something cut out and made herself look more favourable? And also, she doesn't really seem to want to have much to do with anything to do with the Hills anymore. But she recently went on Kristen and Stephen Coletti's Back to the Beach podcast. And I just wondered what your opinions on all that was. Okay, thank you. Bye now.
So I actually asked Kristen about this question because I was like, how did you get Lauren on your podcast? Because we reached out to her agent, her publicist, like one of the showrunners that used to be on the show. And Kristen said, well, I called her out. And she basically came on to like save face or to talk about everything. Otherwise, we were just going to keep talking. So I don't know. And I'm sure Steven had his say in that too. But
right. I think the rivalry and hate she had for Kristen is this small compared to how she probably feels about me personally, at least, and leaving the hills behind. So I think it'd be very challenging to get Lauren on this.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think that would ever happen.
I think with the right attitude and the right mentality for her to come on and be able to say and give and be peaceful.
I would love to hear her side and what she was going through with the producers, and like maybe she was being pressured too, or like she was going through some, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think everyone's
I agree.
I'm sure
totally
if anybody goes and watches these episodes, you could see yourself be like,
yeah,
I should have been better with her with this. And I'm sure you see this and you were 100%. Like, yeah, I could have done this. You've said this before, so it's like it's easier to see it now and be like, man, Lauren today wouldn't do this, or Heidi today wouldn't do this, Brody today wouldn't do this.
Yeah.
I mean, all jokes aside, obviously we all have a love for Lauren and appreciate everything that she's done. And to answer this question, she had a lot of say in this show. You know, it was her narrative, and she had like you will hear later, or from other people. If she didn't want someone on the show, it was pretty easy for her to kick people off. It's what she wanted to do. But at the same time, she was dealing with business executives and producers.
Yeah, being
and
pressured
people,
to make a good show.
Right.
And family.
So I'm sure she had a lot of pressure on her
shoulders. You had your own fan base that probably was also on her.
Well, she had to carry the show. Do you know how much pressure that is?
With a lot of respect to Lauren and to everybody, the show was carried by each and me watching this. I see everybody carrying the show in their own way.
In the beginning, yeah.
In the beginning, yes, of course, but once you guys develop like your like you guys all become like, you see Heidi just become this like superstar on TV.
Well, you became your own person and had your own life outside of just being Lauren's friend.
Right.
Audrina, it took some guys to like bring you up.
How did Whitney get out of, I guess we'll ask her when she comes on because she's coming on, but how did she get out of sort of not having to bring her personal life into it? Because you only see Whitney in that little room with Lauren with the shoes
because
and
she was the
confidant.
She was the person you could go talk to.
She got lucky with
that. But
that.
then she got her own TV show.
No, it was shocking. When Whitney got the spinoff, I think I was shocked.
Right.
I literally was like, Whitney? She's not even like hardly on the show, you know? So it was interesting that they took the person who was on it the least, which I think was the point. Like, let's take someone you don't know about,
we don't know her that
spin
much.
them off into their own world. You get to know her for the first time. She is likable. We've kept her pretty out of it.
And I do want to reiterate this part about Whitney. She texted all of us, and she wanted to make sure we knew that she has nothing but love for us, and we have nothing but love for her. And we've always had this relationship with her where there is no animosity between and people text us about oh, well, they did the show first, that what you guys are doing, the podcast.
Who cares?
It's we're all having fun and enjoying life. We love her, and we want her to come on our show, and it's going to be amazing when she's on, because she was such a big part of the show in her own little way, just like everyone that was part of it, and I think that it'll be so cool to have her on. And we also have Jem Bunny coming up on the next episode. That's going to be amazing. And I think we need to go to the last fan question.
Hi, my name is Tyler. My question is for Heidi Pratt. How did you and Lauren Conrad meet? What were your first impressions of Lauren? And what are 3 nice things that you can say about Lauren or your friendship with her?
I met Lauren my first day of fashion school in San Francisco, and I was 17 actually, because I went to fashion school early. I left high school, and there was a rumor that this MTV girl was going to be there, but nobody knew who it was or what it was, and Laguna Beach wasn't out yet. Or it just aired that month or something. But we all thought it was Maid, I Want to Be a Prom Queen, or someone who was on an episode. Anyways, I met her for my first day of class, and we sat next to each other because we were very similar, and we're both pretty scared in a big city. And we immediately just connected. And then a few months or like a month later, she's like, oh, I'm going to the VMAs. And I was like, oh my gosh, how do you get to go to the VMAs? You must be so rich or whatever. And she's like, oh, I'm on this show. And I was like, you're that girl. I thought you were going to be such a loser. Oh my gosh.
And you never watched, so you didn't watch Laguna Beach? Or you kind of knew about her?
I wasn't out yet.
Yeah, first it wasn't out when I met her. And then when it started airing, who has TV in college?
Yeah.
Oh my God, and fashion school. So I didn't understand Laguna Beach was even such a thing. And then she's like, come back with me to Laguna. Let's do Halloween. We're all going to go to Santa Barbara. And then I went there with her and I met Steven and all these people. And then people were dressed up as them and following them. And I was like, you're like really famous. And she's like, I know. I keep telling you, I'm on this show. And I'm immersed in my own world, thinking funny. I'm like so cool. I just came back from Italy or whatever,
That's right. You went to college studying abroad.
I did. So I just was in Italy and I thought that I was going to be this big. Anyways, whatever. So then, we were really great friends. And then she left halfway through the season because she wanted to go back and film. And we both hated San Francisco. It was really challenging. So she's like, why don't you come live with me in the summer? We filmed a few episodes of Laguna Beach. I lived with her family for like a month. And then the Hills spinoff came. And she was like, I want you to be on it with me. And Adam was like, no, we don't want Heidi. I think I already said this. He's like, we want you to move alone.
Want you?
He didn't even met with me and everything. He's like, we just want Lauren. And she's like, I'm not doing the show without Heidi. And she's like, she's my real best friend. I don't want to be living with a stranger. I want to live with Heidi. And, she advocated and I wouldn't be on the
God
show
Adam did that.
I know.
Jesus, you made the show.
Thank you. Yeah. So that was it. Yep. 3 positive things about my friendship with Lauren is we had the most fun ever. Some of my favorite memories to this day are with Lauren when we went to New York and when, our first red carpet and the clubs. We just had a lot of fun together.
And just sitting on the couch.
And just sitting on the couch was great. Another
moments.
Totally. Another great thing about my friendship with Lauren was how loyal she was for a really long time. We really confided in each other. We went through such a period of time together that no one else would understand. And another positive thing I really always respect and love about Lauren is she doesn't take anything from anyone, whether it's overboard or not. I remember hearing her talk to her agent on the phone. I'm like, whoa, you are a boss at 20 years old, chewing out this adult man who's trying to convince her to do something she didn't want to do. So she is a real, kind of savvy businesswoman who knew what she was doing from a very young age. And I really respected that as well.
Very commendable how she handled her business.
Those were great. Love all those 3.
We're not going to do confessions today because everybody, we have Jen Bunny. And I'm going to save my question for her.
Okay.
But that's okay.
That's okay, Frankie.
Brody?
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. Please follow, rate, and review The Hills Rewatch wherever you listen to your podcasts. And if you'd like to watch us, check us out on YouTube. And you can also listen to exclusive bonus content plus ad-free episodes by signing up at castmedia.com/cast+. That's cast with a K, media.com/cast+. See you guys.
Later.
Whew. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Be sure to start with the pilot episode and catch all of our episode recaps.